Today's practice is going to be a 30-minute yoga practice, a little bit on the gentle side, so hopefully can appeal to a wide range of practitioners and styles, and depending on the level of intensity in which you like to practice, I think you'll find something in this practice today. So thanks for being here, and we're actually going to start on our backs. So we'll come down to the ground, okay? I want you to lie down with your knees bent, your feet on the floor, but walk your feet out towards the edges of the mat and allow your knees to draw in towards each other. So you're letting the legs kind of come in a bit, the knees resting on each other. Turn your palms to face up, allowing your arms to just rest by your side, and take your head into a neutral position. So your chin might feel slightly tucked to make sure you're looking directly up at the ceiling and not arching your neck and looking back behind you. So this is a really great way to release the sacrum and the lower back a little tiny bit by allowing your hips to come what we call into an internal rotation. That's a good way to relax your hip flexors and your psoas muscles, which are always engaged and on fire. And that can also help to keep the back feeling pretty good. Don't discount just the effects, the mild effects, but the positive effects of just resting on your back for just a few moments here with this little stretch happening in our hips and in the lower part of our bodies. If you'd like to close your eyes just for a few moments and begin to feel your breath, the breath pattern of nose breathing only, belly breathing even, bringing the air into your belly as you inhale, taking it higher up into your chest, and then exhale, letting it all come out. So you feel almost like a wave-like sensation along your spine, starting with the belly as you inhale, and then bringing the air higher up into your chest and into your ribs, and then exhaling it out. And take a few more cycles like that, starting to feel the breath deep, or deepen, deeper, as you start to feel your body a little bit in your yoga practice. So I'll take one more breath, at least in this position, with the reminder that it is a breathing practice, and you will spend the entire class in a breath-based modality. And we'll very, very gently from here just take the feet and walk them in, and take your left leg and extend it onto the floor. Let it relax for a moment and bring your right knee into your chest. Interlace your fingers and grab the right leg a little bit below the knee. And then take little circles with that leg. It's just so nice for the hip. Pick a direction, because we'll switch directions as we do, but just go a little slow, a little tiny movement here, getting the thigh bone kind of warm up into the hip joint a little bit. It's a really nice way of opening up a practice. And then switch directions, go the other side, or the other direction. Little circles with the knee, starting to warm up the hip a little tiny bit. Well done. And then pause, pull the knee in just a bit, and engage your left leg now. So now flex your left foot, press your left leg into the ground, pull the right knee towards your right shoulder, pick up your head, and start to bring your nose towards the knee, bringing your belly in. Right? Keep your shoulders down, keep your left leg as extended as you can, warming up your core. Hold this compression, one more time. And then slowly lower down. Well done. Now take the leg and lift it up. You can hold underneath just the back of your quad, right, the back of your hamstrings if you'd like. Let that leg go to wherever it goes, but keep the leg as straight as possible. Notice my heel is kicking up towards the ceiling. Press your right hip down. Keep the arch in your low back somewhat of a natural curve. Maybe you can climb up a little bit if you have a little bit more room behind your knee or your calf, or up towards your ankle. That doesn't really matter. Just getting your leg to be as straight as possible here. Press the hip down and kick the heel up. Start to feel the hamstring engage. Lengthen. up your head and bring the nose towards the knee. You can probably climb your hands up a little bit more. So going for, again, that little compression in the belly, as well as that little bit more extension into the hamstring on the right side for 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. And then slowly release. Place the right leg down on the floor. And we'll take this to the other side. So bring your left knee into your chest, right? Give it a hug. Relax your right leg for now. And take your little circles with your left leg. Draw it around and in and out. So good for your hips. Start to bring a little vitality, as they say, a little life back into our joints. The body can lie dormant sometimes, and it's good to wake it up. And take it in the other direction, checking the knee around, again, on the slower side. Well done. And then pause back in the center. Hold the knee in, so engage a bit into your arms. And now press your right leg into the floor. Flex your right foot. Pick up your head. Bring your nose towards or touching your left knee. Squeeze your belly tight so you're getting into the hip. You're getting into the belly. Your right hip flexors are extending. Well done. And then slowly lie back in. Now take the leg, extend it. Right? Flex through your left foot, press your left hip down. So let your left leg get nice and long underneath. Right? Shoulders are down. Flex through the foot, kicking the heel up towards the ceiling. Nice, pulling the leg in just a little tiny bit more, rolling your left hip down. Heel up and hip down. So the leg is quite active. So some stretching is active. The more yin style stretches that we do towards the end of the practice are a little bit more passive, but for now, as part of the warm-up to get us engaged and ready, we want to start to feel a little bit of heat. And now pick up the head, climb your hands up the leg, good. Right. Your nose and your knee might not touch, maybe they will, mine isn't today, and so be it, but there's a lot of activity in the belly, and a lot of extension happening underneath my left leg. 3, 2, and 1. And slowly come down. Nice. Taking your left leg and now extending your left leg down to the mat. Arms down by your side. A couple of breaths here and a little active Shavasana before we get up and start moving a little tiny bit. Nice. All right, bring your both knees into your chest. Okay. And then taking your knees and take them out to the side and then around and in. So draw circles with your knees here. So last little bit of hip rotation and hip mobility. Good, switch directions. Go to the other side, go the other direction. Bring the knees out and in. Allowing the hips again to find their space. Well done. And then let's take the knees in. Hold underneath your knees and use that momentum to roll yourself up to a seat. So coming into a seated pose. Bend your right leg and place your right foot on the floor. Good. Take your left arm, wrap it in front of your right leg and bring your right hand behind you and set up a twist. So engage your left leg, press your left leg down. My heel is actually off the floor. The leg is engaged that much. And then turn your chest, bringing your eye gaze over your right shoulder, bringing your left rib cage towards your right knee. Right. Take your right hand and lean it away from you a little tiny bit. Let your right leg open out to the right, and now lift up into this reverse gate, right? Turning your chest up towards the ceiling. Push your hips forward, open up your heart, maybe lean back just a bit. Press your left foot flat into the floor and go for this little combination of a back bend and a side bend. It's a very nice pose. Good. And then we'll sit Back down. Very nice. Good. And then going to the other side, let's flip around so I stay facing you. Bending the left leg, wrap the right arm in front of it. Bring your left hand behind you. Press into your right leg, sit up. And now twist, turn. Turn your chest. Move your right rib cage towards your left knee. Press your right leg down. Flex your right foot. Pull your belly in. Keep your shoulders down. Sit up through crown of your head. Feel yourself getting just a little taller. Well done. And then let your left hand come out a little bit further away from the body. Left knee comes down to the floor, and you lift up, pushing your hips forward. It's a bit like a side plank position, opening up and extending your whole right side body. Well done. One more breath. I love this posture. And sit back down. Well done. All right, let's move on. Downward facing dog. So take your legs out behind you. It's this way. Lift your tailbone up into the air and let your chest come down towards the ground. Find a full extension into your spine and into your legs. Allowing the backside body and the glutes to open up. Push down firmly through your hands, through the pads of your hands, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Take the weight out of your wrist. Bring the energy up your arms and into your spine. Your heels don't have to touch the floor. They might, but they don't have to. One more breath here. Good. And then we'll take this into extended child's pose. Put your knees down on the floor. So keep your hands right where they are. And let your hips come back towards your heels. Let the body start to relax. Good. And then inhale, breathing. Lift yourself up. Let your hips come forward. Let them come down a little bit. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Lift your chest up. Good. And then come back to your hands and your knees. Tuck your toes. And lift yourself back up. Downward facing dog. Good. Let's do that again. So come forward, extended child's pose. Hips towards the heels, hands stay right where they are. Go for that kind of length. Nice. Come up. Let your hips drop down and forward. Lift your chest. Good. And then mindfully come back to downward facing dog. Let's take a leg stretch now. Right leg lifts up into the air. So extend your leg up. Good. Pressing through the bottom of your right foot, reaching up through your right heel, the arch of the foot, and then bring the foot down. Nice. Put your both knees down. Extended child's pose. Take it back. Good. Inhale, breathing. Bring it up. Very mindfully, gently. Let the hips come down. Lift your chest. Take it back. Downward facing dog. And now the left leg lifts up into the air. Big breath. And a huge stretch. Stretch. And then place the foot down. Last one. Come forward. Extended child's pose. Hips back towards the heels. Head and chest. Good. Lift yourself up. It's a little bit of like a similar to an up dog, but not quite as powerful. Right? And then back to downward facing dog. All right. From your dog, take your hands and start walking them back to your feet. Bend your knees if you have to. Right. And then take your feet out just a little wider. Bend your knees, let your belly rest on your thighs. Grab your elbows and dangle. So let your spine drape down your legs. Let your head and your chest hang. Like sway a little bit to the left and to the right. You can do that. Tailbone lifting up into the air. Let the head and the neck relax. And then place your hands right on your outer hips. A little more bend to your knees. come up with a flat back. So use your legs to lift yourself up, and then let your arms come down by your side. You'll be somewhere near the back of your mat. Inhale, breathing. Reach your arms up over your head. Good. Take your hands, Steeple Mudra. Interlace your fingers. Release your index and cross your thumbs. Good. Keeping your chin up away from your chest, take a side body bend to your right. Push your left heel down into the floor and get tremendous extension onto the left side of the body. Come up, inhale here, go over to your left. Good. Pushing your right heel down as you reach over to the left side. Nice. And come back up to the center and release the arms down by your side. Good. So now we'll step out on our mat. So step out nice and wide, coming into a wide-legged stance, having your toes point forward, maybe slightly in. Good. Reach your arms out to the sides. Open your chest. So as you take your arms out to the side, the posture starts right here in your sternum, and you just work away from that. So it's more than just your arms. It's really your chest that's opening up wide. And now take a forward fold. Come down. Put your hands down either on a block, pillow, or something, and drop your head and your chest down. You can bend your knees if the floor is a little too far away from you. I'd rather your hands touch something, and it can even be your fingertips if necessary, just to mitigate some of the weight. And then you can start to soften the upper body, which will make the legs work a little bit harder, because now you're taking the weight out of your arms, and it's going back to the legs, which is giving you the stretch and the strength, both. Right? This is a very leg-focused pose. Now push into the hands. Lift your chest up. We're going to walk to the left foot and turn the left toes towards the front of the mat. Put your right knee down onto the floor, and inhale, breathing, lift up into a low crescent lunge. Lean back a little bit. So find the extension in your spine as you lift up through the chest. Reach through the fingertips. Let your hips come down and forward. Putting weight into your left heel, draw your belly in, let your right quads start to open up. Well done. And now put your hands down on the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot a little bit out to the left and just drop down into this lizard lunge here. If you want, you can come a little lower onto your forearms if you have that room. I'm going to stay on my hands today. Right? And even though my chest is lifted, I'm still letting my hips drop down as best as you can. If you want more of a stretch to the top of your right foot, you can release the foot down. You can release the top of the foot down, getting a little bit more space there. Right. And then a couple of breaths, so coming into quite a powerful stretch for your hips and for the lower part of the body. Well done. So tuck your knees under, push a bit into your hands, and lift your right knee up. Tuck your toes under. I think that's what I wanted to say. Tuck your toes under. Lift the knee up. Like that. Good. Coming into this little bit of a stronger runner's lunge. Nice. And then let's come back to the center. We'll turn ourselves around to the center. Okay. Take your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. Drop your head and your chest down. Pull your knuckles away from your low back. Good. Tailbone lifting up into the air, shoulders starting to open up. Good. Engaging into your legs and into your inner thighs. Let the head hang, let the chest hang. Breathe. And then release. Place the hands down. We'll do that on the other side. Now walk towards your right foot. Turn your right toes forward. Right. We'll gently place the left knee down and lift up. Low crescent lunge. So great posture for your lower body. A great way to warm up your hips. Good. Lifting up through the chest, through your side body, through the back of the heart. Reach up through your fingertips. Use your arms. Even though they're not weight-bearing, use your arms to get more extension and more space in your heart. Let the hips come down a little bit, so get grounded in your lower body. Well done. One more breath here. Nice. And then place place your hands down. Bring them on the inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot out to the right a little tiny bit. And again, back to the lizard lunge here. You can release the top of your left foot if you like, or keep the toes tucked. All right? And then allow the hips to drop down and forward. Put a little weight, your own body weight and gravity, and then you'll start to work pretty deeply into the body. Don't forget to breathe, because once we come into poses like this, physically there's not a whole lot to do but let it happen. Okay? So, and what I mean by letting it happen is let the hips drop down. Let your weight come towards the floor. Just make sure your right knee, your front knee stays over the ankle, and then feel the breath. Because that is what's going to, so many healing qualities when you combine breath with movement, breath with stretching, breath with anything. Tuck your toes under, lift the back knee up, come into the strong runner's lunge position here. Well done. And then we'll go back to our wide leg position, straighten the leg, turn yourself back to the center. Nice. Now this time reach your arms out to the sides and bring yourself up to a stand. Very nice. Right. Obligatory, fix the shirt. Okay. We'll take warrior two. Slide your right heel back and turn your left toes towards the short edge of the mat over there and bend the front leg and drop down into your lunge. Broaden across your shoulders, reach across your fingertips, soften your wrists, and settle down into the stretch. Eye gaze ideally somewhere over your left fingertips. Push into the outside of your right foot. Well done. And now reverse triangle. Turn your left palm up. Start to straighten your left leg as you lean away from it. Take your right hand down the outside of your right leg and lift your left arm all the way up and over. Good. And now bring this into triangle pose. Come forward. Reach forward, hinging on your hip. Bring the left hand down towards the left shin. Take the right arm up into the air. Open up your chest. Right. Firm up through your legs. Beautiful. And come back to warrior two. And immediately find your breath when you come into a pose. First thing you do, you settle into the posture. You're doing it to the best of your ability. Start taking in a cycle of breath, or two, or three, or four. Let's do that again. Reverse triangle. Lean back. Push into the ball of the foot. Open up. And then triangle pose. Come forward. And your left hand down. It can be up here. Okay? If you don't have the room to go down low, that's fine. Very aptly named angular pose. You don't have to look up. You can look forward. You can even look down. And inhale, breathing. Now bring it back up. Good. Place your hands to your hips. Turn your left toes forward. So walk your feet in. You can stay somewhere in the center of your mat. We'll practice a few half salutes before we go to the other side. So inhale. Reach your arms up over your head. Bring your hands together. Exhale. Take your hands to your heart. And take a forward fold. And drop your head and your chest down. Inhale. Put your hands on your shins and push your legs back, lifting your chest. Exhale. Drop that down. Inhale. Slight bend to your knees if you need to. Lift up. Continue with your arms up. And exhale. Hands to your heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale. Up. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale. This is called a half lift, right? I'm lifting up halfway. And then exhale, back to the full fold. Inhale. Up you go. And exhale. Hands to your heart center. One more. Inhale, breathing. Exhale, breathing. Inhale, breathing. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Very nice. Let's step out wide. We'll take our warrior series on the other side. Left heel slides back. Right toes turn towards the short edge of the mat. Open up your arms and drop down. Good. Taking your eye gaze over your front fingertips. Nice. Putting weight into your back foot. Let your shoulders come down. And then lift up through your chest. The muscles in your back get strong. Ideally, your arms parallel to the ground as best as you can. Right? I've got a lot of mirrors here. I can see that. Nice. And now inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten the leg. Reach up and back. You might not feel like you're going back a whole lot, but you are. You don't want to lean back in this, so keep it as a side bend. And then come forward into triangle. Bring your right hand down. Take your left arm up. Open up your chest. Breathe. Good. Well, let's do that again. Warrior 2. Settling into a lunge. Nice. Reverse triangle. Lift up. Triangle pose. Come forward. Good. One more breath here. And then bring it back up. Very nice. Bring our hands to our heart center. Turn your right toes forward. And then walk your feet in. Well done. Samasthiti. All right. Let's take a couple of stretches on the floor before Shavasana. So coming down to the floor, let's start with Paschimottanasana. Extend your legs out in front. So this will be more of a passive stretch, unlike some of the active stretching that we started our practice with today. Place your hands on the floor next to your hips, and then push into the floor and lift your chest up. Very strong seated Dandasana pose. Sweep your arms up overhead, a big inhale, and then start to reach forward, like you're reaching through your arms, getting this extension into your spine as you climb over your legs. And then when you can't reach anymore, just drop down. Your hands might land on your legs or on the floor next to your legs. Allow your head and your chest to drop in. If you're particularly tight in your back body, bend your knees a little tiny bit. And let the head and the chest start to hang. Let the back start to open. Relax your shoulders, your fingers. We'll take 3 more breaths here. A wonderful way of finding space into the back part of your body. 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then gently slide your hands back next to your hips. We'll take a fish pose from here. Slide your hands underneath your hips. Good. Start to squeeze your legs together and point your toes. And very slowly make your way back onto your elbows. Push into the floor. And lift your chest up. Drop your head back. And maybe squeeze your elbows in just a bit. And let the throat stretch out. It's a very unique posture. Very difficult to find into your upper back. Certainly I have some neck issues, so it's kind of hard on the neck a bit. But use your arms and use your legs to get this space into the front part of the spine. And then gently release right onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. And draw little circles with your hips. That always feels good on your low back. Way. Reach your arms out to the sides, let your palms face up. Let your knees go to the left. So we'll let them drop to the left. Turn your head to the right. Keep your your right arm and shoulder on the floor as the knees go away from that. Getting this twist to happen into the spine. Relax the belly, relax the back. One more breath. And let's go to the other side. Come back through the center. Bringing the knees in, and then let them fall to the right. Turn your head to the left. One more breath. And then release. Take that back to the center. Twists are a wonderful way to end a practice. Though, at any point in the practice, the twists are good. So take a little Shavasana. Lie on your back or on your side, or maybe on your belly for today. Let yourself rest just for a few moments, or maybe count to 10 breaths or something like that. And then thank you. Thank you once again for watching, for practicing, for keeping up your practice. And I look forward to another video with you. And until next time, namaste. Thank you.